What's going on, guys? Steve Pulaski back with another video review, this time of Power Rangers. Don't you love how yesterday when I was doing my review of Life, I was sitting in the car, I was like a big sweaty mess, and I had no jacket on because it was about 79, 80 degrees out in Chicago in March, and now it's like 45 and pouring down rain. Gotta love it. Anyway, though, back to bigger and better things. Power Rangers, okay? I was a little skeptical about this movie. I was never a big fan of Power Rangers growing up. It never really sat with me as much more than kind of like something that you could watch on TV while you're already hyped up on a bowl of sugary cereal. You know what I mean? It never jumped out to me as anything more than that, but I know a lot of people like it. Believe me, I'm not trying to be the staple kid of my generation here. But I never disliked it, but I never got into it. So when it comes time for a movie like this to get made, I get excited in a way. In a weird way. I get excited, I get optimistic, because I think like, okay, this could be a good introduction, it could be a good continuation maybe, or could completely do something different. And if you have to spend $100 million on a Power Rangers movie, I think you've missed the point right away. And especially if you have to make a Power Rangers movie cost $100 million, fill it with pop songs by the likes of, like, I don't know, 21 Pilots, I think, had a song in there, Kanye West, and then you make the film tonally inconsistent, where at one moment it's trying to be like DC, you know what I mean, like DC, like a DC comic book movie, and then in another moment it's trying to be like Transformers maybe, then it's trying to be like The Breakfast Club by portraying these social misfits, but it's not really giving development to any of them. This is a mess. This movie is a real mess. It's got a couple moments of really good, really inspired sequences. The big battle sequence at the end of the film is kind of cool in a way. But once the Power Rangers, and this isn't a spoiler, but once the Power Rangers in the fight, they go from, you know, fighting, you know, I like combat and stuff like that on the ground, you know what I mean, using their fists and their feet. Then they jump into these big robotic, you know, monsters that look like Transformer kind of things, and then you're just looking like I'm watching Transformers, and I don't even need to see it, this kind of thing, because I'm gonna have to go see it in a few months anyway when the new Transformers movie comes out. So this movie has an identity crisis like hell. Visually, it's very drab, it's very ugly, it's very gray. It honestly reminds me, and I kid you not, I know the director Dean Israelite directed the movie Project Almanac, which I liked. That was a pretty good movie about a time travel movie, a concept that nobody saw Michael Bay produced. That was pretty good. That movie looks identical to that movie visually, but you know what it looks like? Conceptually, visually, and sort of like thematically, and how like weirdly dense it can be. It honestly reminded me of the new Fantastic Four movie, and that's not a good thing. And you really look at something like this too. I still think it's got good franchise potential. I think that this movie could be very entertaining, but they need to tone it down. They need to not make it so serious. They need to remember what people liked about the actual Power Rangers movie was that it was good, cheesy fun characters, fun dialogue, and it gets some of the dialogue right. And R.J. Seiler, who plays like one of the Rangers too, who's got like who's mildly autistic too, he's pretty good in it as well. But this movie needs to dial back greatly and remind itself, the people behind it need to remind themselves why people fell in love with Power Rangers. As it stands right now, this is not a good way to start a franchise. I'm giving Power Rangers a D+, 2 out of 4 stars on my website. Read the full review link below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video review. Bye.